Double Helix was really formed in the sort of the heyday of licensed products to basically be this studio that delivered like high-end licensed games that were very time constrained. And there weren't studios to do these big licensed games, but the bottom fell out of that market. And so for us at the studio, it was how do we take all this executional expertise and shift toward non-licensed products that are way higher in quality than kind of what the market demands there. And Killer Instinct is kind of the first expression of that strategy.
When fighting games really took off for me was around the time of Street Fighter II. And at the time I started living in arcades because I was very, very fond of fighting games. And here comes Killer Instinct into the arcades. And it was just such a mind-blowing experience to see this game that looked so different than anything else. And fast forward years and years later, and we're having a conversation at Microsoft, why don't we have a fighting game? Like, why don't we have a fighting? Why aren't we doing one internally? You know, we have the talent to do it. We have a lot of people that are passionate. And so for me, it was a long-term, like, let's bring back this amazing fighting game that had such unique mechanics. And it's been such a long time that I think people have forgotten how kind of unique to the fighting game genre that Killer Instinct is. And so we all felt like, oh, this is the right time to bring it back.
We pitched a brawling title to Microsoft, and that was the first inkling that we had that they were looking for a developer for Killer Instinct. It had a code name at the time. It was basically, here's this top secret thing, what would you guys do with it? And I grabbed a couple of my guys, and it went viral in the studio almost instantly. Like, are you serious? We're being asked to give our take on this. And at that time, I think they were talking to several developers, but I think they were very impressed at how much the team understood what Killer Instinct was and how far we were willing to go to work on it.
We vetted a lot of developers when we were looking for partners to build with build KI. And Double Helix wrote us this amazing love letter that just spoke really passionately about their fondness for Killer Instinct, memories of it, about trying to outdo a friend on the console version by getting a 102 hit combo instead of 103, and they really had a genuine love for the franchise, and we thought, okay, these guys are good, let's give them a shot.
So we went back and forth on that for a long time, and eventually it narrowed down to us, and we got the green light, yes, we want you to do the game. And then there was this pause, and they said, actually we have to send a team down to your studio. And 9 people came down to the studio, and they said, we need to disclose you on our new platform. And so then they gave us all this information, and then that started a whole wave of, we actually want this title for Xbox One.
So our studio head, Patrick, he came to a bunch of us and says, hey, we've got this awesome opportunity to work on the next Killer Instinct. Can you guys put together like a design brief? All of us, like, our jaws just dropped and we're like, are you serious? This is the dream, right? And so we just like toiled and created all these design documents, but then we're like, oh, we need to go a step further. And we created this awesome prototype.
The first thing these guys delivered was a prototype of a close to Killer Instinct 2 Jago on Jago match with grayscale characters, but it played so well. We had a crowd of people in my office just going, oh my God, it feels like KI, oh my God, it feels like KI. And that's when we thought, we really have something here.
So for me, Killer Instinct has always been about the combos. You know, that's one of the first things you always hear. You hear the combos, the combo breakers. You know, killer combo, awesome combo, and stuff. That's always been the heart and soul of the series to me, is to see how many hits you can actually, get on this one character, and like what kind of launcher you can get, and if you could juggle and stuff like that. I mean, it's always been about that experience. Some of the core systems in the old Killer Instinct, you can mash stuff out, but in order to get some of the higher level combos, you had to really learn the systems and stuff. To actually have the chance to work on a fighting game, it's the brass ring for a lot of people in the industry, because it's so rare for a Western developer to have a chance to work on something. Not even talking about and the chance to actually work on Killer Instinct. That's huge.
So we have a core group of guys that have been together almost 10 years, I'd say. A lot of combat-centric designers. And then we have guys that have worked on Street Fighter II Turbo, Super Street Fighter II, Weapon Lord, Skullgirls. a lot of people that are extremely passionate about fighting games, either lived with guys that were professional players or attend tournament scenes, but we just love the community and we love what fighting games bring. And so given this opportunity and then building up this team, it's been hugely exciting.
It's a Crayola box, dude. Different minds with one goal, and that's being able to create a good game. We have modern day fighters in mind, because the people who are playing games these days are geniuses. Like, they're breaking games. I love to push the game to the max. I want to make and work with the team and work with the community so that we don't see a wall.
Our vision from the very start was this is an IP that's been around for 19 years now, and it has a huge number of fans, and that we couldn't really afford to adopt the position that we were the experts and what somebody else had to say didn't matter. Our position from the very beginning is it's an Xbox arcade game that is going to be delivered digitally, that's going to be live, that we're going to be working on while the fans are actually actively playing it. So if we're not highly engaged with them, then we're missing out on a huge opportunity. Every single forum post that goes to the Double Helix website also comes to my phone. I read every single post. So does Mike, so does Dave V. A lot of that stuff is distributed to the team, and it all gets plugged into prioritized action item lists for the team to go to work on. So whether they know it or not, the people who are fans of this game are already having a big impact on its development.
We can do crazy stuff with particle effects, crazy stuff with lighting. You have character models that are like over 70,000 polys. You can do all those bells and whistles, but one of the most important things for any fighter is the feel, and the feeling that you get when it's running at 60 frames a second will bring a lot more hype than something that's running at 30 and you're dropping all the time and you have no idea why, and things that don't feel good.
Fighting games are a challenge. I mean, historically, even from other series, there have been times where people don't really believe that a fighting game can come back. And I think the thing that really bowled people over is the moment in our presser when we announced the game and the whole crowd just went nuts. That was really probably one of the loudest moments in E3 for us, and that was Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct.
The moment that first pulse of the KI logo started up, all of our senses were sort of hyper attuned to what the reaction was going to be, and almost immediately you could hear people just start to roar.
Oh, do you have auto doubles? Do you have linkers? What about enders? Are there ultras still in? Are there no mercies? Like, suddenly everyone was speaking the language of KI after all this time, and it was wonderful to see that people still had the excitement for those things that we're bringing back in the new game.
So if you're a core fan and you see that one of your beloved franchises is being developed by Double Helix, I can understand how people would be scratching their heads. For us, we kind of came into E3 knowing that there was going to be some of that, knowing that there may be some skeptics out there, and frankly, we approached the show with complete humility. We didn't expect to get a pass from any of the players, so our idea was we're just going to get the game out there. We're going to be available on the show floor. We're going to answer as many questions as we can. We didn't try to act like we had all the answers. Instead, we wanted to just be, hey, get your hands on it, try it, play it, and then be as receptive as possible to all of the feedback.
The harshest response that we received had to do with would we be able to support a tournament scene, being only on one platform, and then some of the concerns over DRM. But as things come to pass, like, we definitely want to support our tournament scene, and I think the messaging, especially recently, has been extremely clear. Like, you will be able to play this offline, and we will be able to support the tournament scene.
There was lots of people that were turned from skeptic to true believers. Like, it was all based on actually picking up the game and actually playing it. One of the experiences that I actually had was a guy that came up and very, very stoic expression on his face, and you could tell he didn't want to believe that we could actually bring Killer Instinct to the modern day, especially after hearing Double Helix was attached to it and stuff, and O'Rare wasn't directly working on it and such. But I asked him, hey, do you have any questions about it? And he's like, no, I'll be fine. I'm like, okay, cool. If you've got any questions, just let me know. And he plays it for a couple minutes and he turns around and he's like, dude, I got to get out of here because I could play this thing all day long. And that right there was the best experience for me, to hear someone that walked up a skeptic and walked away going, I want to keep playing this.
When you play this game, it doesn't play like other games. It plays like KI. If you try to play this game like a Street Fighter, like a Marvel, like a Mortal Kombat, you're gonna get messed up real bad. So it still has that spirit. I think that's the biggest validation that we can get, is that people getting their hands on the game, playing it, and they're like, this feels like Killer Instinct. it's immensely important to get this game right. You have so many people that this game means a lot to myself and the guys that I work with. So there's a lot of like unseen pressure in order to do something great. But we love what we do and we love the game, and we're gonna do our very best to make this great.
We've had some rough projects here and there and stuff like that, but we've learned from mistakes, and you know, we're moving forward. We're ready to do bigger and better things and stuff, so we're hoping that this actually shows that.
We don't always control the opportunities that we have, but we control how effectively we execute on them. We don't always control our budgets, but we control the amount of passion that we invest into everything that we do. So regardless of what game we're working on, we're always giving it everything that we possibly can. But there are rare times when that passion that we have at the studio meets with an opportunity that allows us to go way beyond even what we thought we were capable of, let alone kind of what people thought we were capable of. So this is an opportunity for us to showcase what the studio can really do. We think the game is great today, but we think that it's going to continue to get even better. So what I hope it says about Double Helix is that passion met with the right opportunity can produce great stuff, and will continue as we announce other products to produce great stuff.
I am jazzed about this game. Every time we get another character and every time we get more concepts in, every time we're looking at talking about what we're going to do next or the new features we're going to bring online, it just generates this wave of excitement that propagates out of my office just through all of the Microsoft Publishing org. And I have people knocking on my door all the time, dude, what's new in the game? Hey, can I play? Hey, you got 5 minutes? Like, I get this constant, like, I have to close my door and say, do not disturb, go away. Otherwise, people are constantly knocking like, hey, dude, can we just get in a couple games? And that, to me, says that we really have something that's super fun, and I cannot wait to turn it loose on everyone in the fighting game community.
Killer instinct.